Hey, it's Chuck here. Welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Got a list of 4 properties. So the neat thing that allows me to do is to add some extra information. So stay tuned at the end of the video, and I'll give you a bit of a sense of the makeup of Milton, especially if you're just starting to get introduced to the town. I'll give you a bit of a sense of the different neighborhoods and so on. So 799 Coulson is at 439. And so you've got a renovated kitchen. It's a 3-bedroom home. It's basically just kind of living dining room. And then you've got a kitchen. There's a finished basement, which looks pretty good. Deck and a hot tub in the back, which doesn't add huge value, but it definitely does. When you look at, for example, detached homes, this one's a link, so it looks detached, but it shares a foundation wall, or there's a slab in between the two homes that connects them. 36 by 122. If you look at most of the homes that are similar to this on Rose Heath or Beaver or any of those other streets, like Coulson, you're going to find that even the renovated nice ones have been selling a little bit closer to the 400 range, 400, 410. If they're up in the 420, 430, we're talking about usually a larger home. So I think they're a little bit high, but a lot of those sales happened last year, and right when you turn on January, anything can happen. So let's see what happens. My initial reaction, though, is I thought, it might be a little aggressive, a little ambitious, maybe, let's say. 290 Pine Street is 449. Was listed last year. Looks like a really good sized backyard, but it's only 80 feet deep. It's 43 wide. Compare that to something like a Mattamy single car garage detached, about a 36 by 80 foot lot, so it's a little bit wider. And nice renos inside. It definitely looks like they've been done well. I mean, obviously going into the home and seeing it and examining the work up close is obviously the best way to tell if it really has been done well. But you can see even the wallpaper just adds a touch of style to it. Now, there's only 2 bedrooms upstairs. Now, what they've done, which is clever, is on this side, because it's a 1.5 story, so you don't really have the attic per se, is they've set up closet space, and that can be a really efficient use of space. Yeah, you're basically looking at, it's a nice sized yard too, but you're basically looking at a big open living dining room, and then you've got a kitchen here, and then you've got a bedroom, what they consider to be a bedroom on the main floor, and then 2 upstairs. So when you first read the listing, you say, it's a 3-bedroom, but there's really only 1 on the main floor. So would you use that as a computer room, office, and then only have 2 upstairs? It looks like there's a kitchen downstairs, so I don't know if there's an opportunity there with a separate entrance or to do anything that might, might give you the option for an investment property. Probably seems a little bit high to me, but it's a very unique home, so I think that it has a lot to offer someone who doesn't need a ton of space but wants something nice. And being close to downtown too. Pine Street is really right off of Main Street. It's a couple streets south, and you could walk to the farmers market and so on. So Stringer Circle, 530 is the price on this one. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably about 2,100 square feet. It looks like coming up, you've got some kind of a room off to the side here, then a family room in the kitchen further down. There's some pot lights there. The lot is actually 105 feet, so it's a nice sized piece of property. Glass shower, you get a soaker tub, and so you can see there's the family room, kitchen, and then you also have the dining room as well. So no real shots of the upstairs, of the master, and so on. 530 isn't too bad for a 4-bedroom detached with a double car garage. It might be a little bit high based on the size and what else has been selling. They've really kind of slipped in this range, but I don't think they're that far off that they're not going to get showings or interest. Especially, I think the home looks pretty good and clean and tidy. So we have first line here. It's 1.85 acres. Nice front appearance. The first thing I thought is, well, it doesn't have a garage, but it looks like it does. It says in the listing it's got an attached 2-car garage. So I'm not sure where that is, if it's maybe just down around the side or something like that. Because what you find is that this elevation, there might actually be a hill going down that sort of loops around, and the garage is attached on the bottom. So it is a walkout basement in the back. So that's what I assume it is. It's got a nice renovated kitchen here, some skylights, some gleaming hardwood floors. You know, it's not often you find a place in the country that actually looks like it's had mostly all the renos done, and even a little bit like being closer to 2 acres than 1 acre. It's a nice thing. I think the $679 price is certainly in line with what I'd expect. And it's got an above ground pool. It's heated by propane. A lot of nice stuff here. So so overall, I would say that that's one of my favorite ones for the day and even of the week. So when you look at Milton here, I'm going to break down, if you're just being introduced to the town, basically the old part is bounded by Steeles, Bronte, and Derry and Thompson. So for example, 20 years ago, anything on this side of Thompson was basically farmland. So there wasn't really anything there. The development happened in this area and down here, and it's sort of filled in roughly. That's been the phase one. The phase two has been all through here, and the next phase of development is actually going from Louis Saint Laurent right down to Britannia, and it's coming back this way. So this is the proposed university is going to be right here. We can't say anything's finalized there, but it certainly looks like it's on its way. The oldest part of Milton is pretty much in these streets here. So just south of Main Street, this is where the farmers market and so on is. This is real sort of traditional, nice downtown look around here. So a lot of these homes, you'll find the Century homes. You'll see 50s and 60s here. Then we started to see Dorset Park develop in the 70s. And then what we started to see is through the 80s, most of this stuff here was built up around Bronte Meadows, Timberley, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's really the phasing of the town, and obviously different generations of homes have different styles, different things to consider. For example, a lot of the bungalows in the 50s and 60s, nice size 50, 60 foot frontage, maybe 120 to 150 feet deep. We're talking about smaller bedrooms, smaller closets, a little less open concept. Homes in the 80s can be a nice transition between the old stuff and the new stuff, because we started to see, for example, ensuite bathrooms, bigger closets, a lot of the things that people like about the newer homes, but they still were on decent sized lots. Okay, so I guess that's the big overview. I could get into extreme detail, and we have in other videos. But that's generally what Milton is about. So some people like to be on the east side, where the homes are a little bit more mature, where they're maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. Some people like being by the escarpment, where the homes are even 1 or 2 years old in certain parts. Okay, so this is obviously a lot closer to Toronto, Mississauga. You're probably adding about 10 minutes drive if you're over on this side here. And yeah, so I would encourage you to come explore Milton, drive around. If you know you're going to be in town and you want to actually see some places that might fit your price range, we run tours 7 days a week. You can go to miltontourofhomes.com, or you can just go over on that side and you can check out, or you can actually set up a time to come in. You can meet us at Starbucks if you want some more information. One of the biggest things that people ask is, what is this going to cost me? So we break down some of the costs, some of the steps involved. Should you buy or sell first is a pretty important question. How much is it going to cost? What are the things I should do to my house to make it to improve the value? All those kind of things. What do I look for when I'm touring homes? Those are all things that we talk about on the tour. So all of that information's over there. We're probably going to do our next buyer class in the next couple weeks. First buyer class of 2013. Of which we've had probably close to 500 people come over the last couple of years. So it's a great chance to just connect with some of the best information I think that's out there about buying a home and the whole process. Hopefully coming later this year, we've got investment seminars, seller seminars. It's going to be a great time. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes.